able to put it up most anywhere, no matter what, if he thinks he's got it. Look here at the fullback, probably his first responsibility. Back here, where he threw the ball, we see double coverage. He throws it into the double coverage, which is something he probably should not have done, and the result was a touchdown.
Holcomb takes the toss for about 4, driven out on the side by Shino Prater. And Jim Nelson also there to have scored him. An update on the West Virginia Mountaineers with Bill Pito. Bill.
All right, Dave, here we go with Amos Zeraway, the talented sophomore. He's already got 61 yards in the game. That's a touchdown. And on the board right now, 14-0 in favor of West Virginia.
Tough season continues for McQueary. Deep for Juravicius. Juggles. Hangs on. Another touchdown. McQueary to Juravicius.
Touchdown Penn State. The pass caught by number 83.
There is very little more demoralizing than to have good coverage and to have a giant reach up and pluck the football out of the air when you're right there, as Asim Ples was. Good protection by Harris, number 25. An absolutely perfect throw, only reachable by Juravicius at his 6'5" frame.
40 for the extra point. Yeah, the throw had to be perfect, and Juravicius had to be 6'5" for this to work, but both factors in their favor, working for another strike from McQueary. 3 first-half touchdown passes. Juravicius has 2 of them.
Jerry.
And Robert Holcomb tips up dangerously. Those balls very often are plucked. They're going to go for it now on 4th and 7.
Probably not that hard a decision for Turner. Down by 15. And Lavery had a wide open McDonald Ashford, who dropped it. Would have easily had the first down. That's what happens to teams that are stuck in the rut that Illinois finds themselves in.
If you're an Illinois fan or an Illinois coach, this catch must be made. Must be made. What an excellent call by Buddy Tevens. It's a blown coverage by Penn State. This thing might have gone into the end zone. The key to catching the football is very simple. You look at it. George McDonald Ashford simply didn't look the football in. Too bad for Illinois.
When you leave a minute 13 on that clock, more than enough time if Penn State chooses to press the issue. They may not here. They may just run it out. Aaron Harris on the first down pickup of 4. They point to things just like that in each of their first 4 losses. If this play had gone differently, if we make that interception. And this time they have the interception.
It is.
Trevor Stargell with the pick, the first thrown by McQueary all year.
And Jeff Weiss continues to star out here. Number 53, defensive end, applied the pressure, caused the poor throw. That's Jeff Weiss, number 53. You see on the pressure there. Forces the inside throw. McQueary should have led his receiver outside. Didn't have time.
So his streak of 93 passes in a row without an interception has come to an end. Goes back to the 3rd quarter of his great comeback at Indiana last year. Now for Turner, 48 seconds, and still 2 timeouts to work with, but Lavery has no room to escape the rush of Chris Snyder, who's joined by Justin Kirpakis.
Kirpakis, number 37, does a roll move to the inside of big Marcus Sullivan. The protection has been superb most of the day. You'll see him come from the inside here, and he will make the hit on Lavery.
Crowd does not like the decision to allow the clock to run out here, not with 2 timeouts in their pocket.
The crowd doesn't understand 2nd and 15, Dave.
Holcomb on his last carry of the half will go to the locker room with 96 yards. But Ron Turner, here's a few boos from people who wanted to see him put it up one more time. They had a game for themselves after pulling within 7-6, but the missed extra point started an onslaught by the Nittany Lions. 3 big play touchdown passes by McQuarrie, 2 to Juravicius. And it's 21-6 for the number 2 ranked Nittany Lions at Champaign over the Fighting Illini. Now let's send you to the studio and Bill Pito.
Him stopping him at the line of scrimmage today.
Auburn beats South Carolina 23-6 the final, and your guy Damian Craig, 2 touchdown passes and 321 yards.
A lot to be said for a quarterback that plays well for his team on the road. Did it at LSU 2 weeks ago, at South Carolina today. 321 yards passing and a couple scores.
Peyton Manning with 324 yards and 2 touchdown passes as Tennessee beats Mississippi 31-17. Stick around, we'll have more as we continue on ABC's College Football.
Before playing.
Big East having a bad year thus far, and Texas A&M made believers out of some people today.
Yeah, they showed me something today. I didn't think with the way they started their season against Sam Houston State, Southwest Louisiana, North Texas State, that they were ready to play Colorado. Great aggressive defense, and they ran the football very well.
And the Fighting Irish 1-4 for the first time since 1986. That was Lou Holtz's first year. They lose to Stanford 33-15. Monday Night Football coming up, unbeaten teams. The New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos, 9 o'clock on Monday night. The next week at 3:30 Eastern Time, regional coverage including Ohio State against Penn State. Check your local listings for the game in your area and on pay-per-view. For Todd Blackledge, I'm John Saunders. We'll see you next week at 3:30. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Knows what a week off will do for teams. Sometimes they can come back unfocused and off cue, and other times, well, they return like they never missed a beat. As in the case with second-ranked Penn State today, they visited Champaign, Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini. Big day for the quarterback, Mike McQuarrie. 3 TDs, including this one to Joffy Fields. That one's going 60 yards. Nicely done. Joe Juravicius, by the way, also caught a pair, one from 57 and another from 20. This one's downtown. Oh, beat the coverage nicely there. And a 2-touchdown afternoon for Curtis Enos, who, by the way, also had his first 100-yard rushing game of the season. Final score, Penn State 41, Illinois 6. Now next week, Penn State returns to Happy Valley to host 7th-ranked Ohio State, who today were at home with Iowa. And we'll pick this game up with Iowa down 3-0. Here's a touchdown run right there. Count it. Make it 10-0. Wiley with the touchdown. Then Stanley Jackson to David Boston. Ohio State wins this one going away 23-7. So next week, a battle of the unbeatens at Happy Valley as they vie for Big Ten honors. Now checking some of today's other top 10 action. Florida right now leading Arkansas. Florida State all over arch rival Miami 47-0. Michigan gets by Indiana. Auburn over South Carolina. And Tennessee, well, Tennessee right now leading Mississippi 21-9, that game in the 4th. You know, I honestly felt the Temple Owls could win at least 4 games coming into this season. Unfortunately, they have lost 2 of the games I thought they could win. But give credit where credit is due. Today, the Temple Owls taking on the Pitt Panthers, and let's check out some of the action, shall we? This is El Marco Jackson with a 4-yard run. Nicely done. Pitt, however, comes back. They're leading it, going to be leading it 10-7 after this touchdown pass. Terry Murphy, Pete Gonzalez. But guess what? Temple hung tough today, did not make the mistakes that have cost them in the past, and guess what? Yes, their second Big East win of the season. They have won now more games this year than they did all last season. How about that? And it's homecoming weekend on the main line. Andy Talley and company hosting James Madison University, JMU, and this one all Villanova. Big day for the wide receiver Brian Finneran. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but Rob, how about 4 touchdown catches for Brian Finneran as Villanova rolls over JMU 49-17. And certainly no shortage of available seats at Boston University this afternoon. Tubby Raymond and his Fighting Blue Hens paying a visit to the Terriers. And this is going to be a blocked punt, return for a touchdown. That was only the start for Delaware. They rolled in this one. How about this short touchdown run coming up right here? There you go. End result, 49-17. The University of Delaware gets by Boston University. And folks, do we have local scores for you today? Right now, Penn at home leading Towson State 17-0 at the half. Elsewhere, Princeton over Holy Cross. Tough afternoon for LaSalle. Widener gets by Juniata. Elsewhere, Slippery Rock over Westchester. Bloomsburg 68. Cheney 62. Lafayette gets by Columbia, and Colgate showing no mercy with the Lehigh Engineers. Ursinus over Swarthmore. Catholic gets by Franklin and Marshall. Delaware State a winner. Moravian over Del Valley. Trust me, Moravian over Del Valley. Rutgers blanked by West Virginia. Rowan 30. College of New Jersey 7. Well, certainly didn't take the Marlins or Braves long to dispose of their National League playoff opponents, did it now? Respectively sweeping the San Francisco Giants and Houston Astros today at Camden Yards. The Orioles trying to put the broom to Ken Griffey Jr. and the Seattle Mariners, but take a look. Seattle right now leading this one, clinging to a 2-0 lead late in the contest. Flyers looking to extend their unbeaten streak to 3 tomorrow night when they host the Phoenix Coyotes. Last night at the Core States, Wayne Cashman and crew hosting Ottawa. No score first period. With that said, let's head to Champaign, Illinois, Fighting Illini, hosting Joe Pa's Nittany Lions. And this one was pretty much all Nittany Lions. McQuarrie with 3 TD passes today. That one to Shafi Fields. That one of 60 yards. Joe Jurevicius with a pair of touchdown catches today. 1 of 20 and 1 of 57. That one even faked out the cameraman. That's gone. Curtis Enos, his first 100-yard game of the day, of the year. 11-yard touchdown run there. He had another 4-yard touchdown. 41-6. Penn State wins it. And let's check out some of the top 10 action because there are some scores to pass on. Florida over Arkansas. Nebraska right now late in the game leading Kansas State 54-20. Elsewhere, Florida State over Miami, UNC 17, TCU nothing. Michigan gets by Indiana 37-0. It is Ohio State 23, Iowa 17. Auburn gets by South Carolina, Tennessee over Mississippi, and Washington 26, Arizona State 14. What a difference a year makes. The last time the Temple Owls played the University of Pittsburgh, head coach Ron Dickerson momentarily retired after watching his team blow a double-digit lead late in the fourth quarter. What a difference a year makes. Things a lot different this time around, as again, Temple taking the early lead on the Marco Jackson touchdown run there, make it 7-0. But Pittsburgh would come back, and it's a touchdown pass. It's going to give them a 10-7 lead over Temple. But unlike games of the past, Temple hangs on. They do not turn the ball over. And guess what? They win it. Their second win of the season. And it's homecoming weekend on the May line. Villanova hosting JMU. That's James Madison University. And a big day for the wide receiver. Brian Finneran, 4 touchdown catches on the day as Villanova rolls to the easy victory, 49-17 over JMU. And after a disappointing 0-2 start, Al Bagnoli's Penn Quakers finally recording their first win of the year. Brian Bonanno with the TD catch at Franklin Field. Then there was number 7, Jim Finn, taking it in. Penn will knock off Townsend State, Maryland by a final of 26-14. Checking some of today's other local college football action. Princeton 21, Holy Cross 7. Bentley 45-0 over LaSalle. Juniata falls to Widener. Slippery Rock 27, Westchester 14. Bloomsburg 68, Cheney 6. Lafayette 31, Columbia 3. Colgate Lamblase Lehigh. Swarthmore blanked by Ursinus. Catholic over Franklin and Marshall. Del State over Bethune-Cookman. Rutgers being blanked by West Virginia. Rowan 30, College of New Jersey 7. Well, I guess I don't have to tell Eagle fans the importance of this Eagles-Redskins game because a loss would not only give them a 1-4 record, but also an 0-3 divisional mark. The Birds, however, do have a little something in their favor this Sunday, home field advantage.
It's good to be on your home turf for a change, you know. Then guys gonna be definitely fired up just to play on your home turf. So maybe we get things turned around and get the wheels rolling again.
It's great to come home. Great to be home this week especially, and because the game we really need. We need to be here at the Vet for this one, and it's going to be big for us to get us off to the right track, and I'm looking forward to it.
The last 6 Eagles games have all been decided by 5 points or less, with the two teams splitting their 2 games last year. Derek Coleman, perhaps not the only unhappy camper at Sixers training camp this year. Fellow forward Clarence Witherspoon still miffed about how the team traded him to Boston only to have the deal void because of Dino Rogers' failing health. Spoon said the Sixers failed to call him in the 3 months following the foiled void. Meanwhile, Sixers continue to practice at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Why Chapel Hill? Because that is where Larry Brown played, and that is where Eric Montross played. Are there similarities between Larry Brown and his old head coach, Dean Smith?
It's very early to tell exactly what the similarities will be, but you can tell that he's a defensive coach. Coach Brown is, and so is Coach Smith. And I think that anyone who's gone through the tutelage of Coach Smith and has had the success story that Larry Brown has, you got to give him a lot of credit, a lot of respect.
And if you ever look up high in the rafters when you're ever in the Dean Dome, that is Larry Brown's former UNC jersey number. Flyers looking to
fall. No one could have guessed where the seeds of Penn State's next quick strike multi-weapon offense were hiding.
I was holding the clipboard on the sideline. I was a number 3 quarterback.
Watching Bobby Ingram, punting too, I guess. That was the low life.
I had no idea what went on in 1994. I was tucked away in a small prep school, so the only thing I knew is they were scoring.
Curtis Enis, the last to arrive, was the first to blossom. A 1,200-yard year in '96 made him a top preseason Heisman candidate. Joe Juravicius was next, at first struggling with conditioning in classes in '96, then getting his act together on both counts. Mike McQueary was the late bloomer. Entering this year, his talents still uncertain.
Everybody asked me about the big problem we had. The one question mark we had was quarterback.
Well, there was no expectations for me this season. Around here, I was lucky if I was going to make it through the 3rd or 4th game starting.
McQueary erased that doubt in his debut, breaking the school passing record in his very first start. Suddenly, all kinds of legends sprang up about this red-headed hometown hero. You used to park cars here at Beaver Stadium?
Oh, no, that's a myth.
I don't think Mike would do that. I don't think Mike would park cars at Beaver Stadium.
And there's all kinds of stuff coming in the newspapers about, like, he was born and his dad said this will be like, he called up Notre Dame and this will be the next Notre Dame quarterback.
You wonder, where does this guy come from, we know he's been over there a long time, and your normal thinking is, boy, this guy's, he can't be all that good, but he's getting the job done. He reminds you a lot of Collins.
4 games into the season, McQueary has put up Collins-like numbers, a good chunk of those hooking up with Juravicius.
Me and Juravicius, we're a lot of the same. We have the same kind of attributes. We're both aggressive people. We like to go get them. We like to have control.
Mike just has a knack for where I'm going to be on the field, and I have an idea of what Mike's going through when he's dropping back and he's ready to throw the ball.
Joe's a 5th-year senior. He's been waiting. Mike's a 5th-year senior. He's waiting. They both are waited and sitting there learning behind some great people. And now the buffet line is open to them, and they're eating it up, and they're out there enjoying it, and they're having fun.
All you can eat for McQueary and Juravicius has meant smaller portions for Curtis Enis, now ranked 38th among the nation's rushers.
We run a play-action pass, everybody comes on me, and Juravicius slips behind, and Mike throws him the T-ball.
He would love to have, more carries and get the, more yards rushing, but Kurt's a team player, and that's a special thing about that guy.
Penn State's 1997 quick strike trio seems to have the same ingredients as its 1994 predecessor. But the current coaches and players dispute those similarities, calling the '94 offense one of the greatest of all time, and this year's untested.
This club hasn't done anything yet. We haven't played anybody who's challenged us yet.
Have we seen this Penn State offense at full tilt yet this year?
No, not at all. Not all 11 guys clicking, not at all. And hopefully it comes this week because I think we'll need it.
Yeah, he will, facing that Buckeye defense. Last week we saw 3-year starting quarterback Matt Sherman of Iowa admit that he was confused by the Buckeyes' schemes. Now you got a quarterback that has 4 career starts, but fortunately it's not all on McQueery's shoulders.
Yeah, but Penn State has unbelievable offensive balance. Here's a perfect example. Versus Illinois last week, 276 yards running, 276 yards passing. Every time they touch the football, 7.8. Now they got a key guy here, number 2, Chaffee Fields. Now here's Chaffee running the reverse. Now watch number 9, McQueary on the block right here. Boom! Not bad for a quarterback. Now McQueary is a good blocker, but I'll tell you what, this kid Fields can run. He can catch the football. He averages over 25 yards every time he touches the football. Now Kirk, you choose your poison with Penn State. Hey, you run, they kill you. They pass, they kill you. Choose your poison.
Great offense for Ohio State on offense. Last week they finally got their running game going, and the reason the Iowa Hawkeyes decided to play a lot softer, respecting Ohio State's passing game. They played zone. If Penn State does that today, look for John Lumpkin to tight end to be a very key part of the Ohio State offense. Lumpkin gives Ohio State a serious threat vertically downfield at 6'8", big target. has a knack for finding a seam behind the linebackers and between the safeties. Now, over the last couple years in this football game, Ohio State has done a nice job of finding whether it's been Ricky Dudley or John Lumpkin vertically downfield against that cover 2. Look for that today. The big question, will Penn State play man and take their chances, or will they sit back and play zone? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, recent history says that if the Buckeyes can contain that Penn State offense, they will win. When Penn State's been held under 21 points. You realize they have lost 13 consecutive games. They don't win the low-scoring defensive struggles. How do you see it this week? Yeah?
I like Penn State because of their offensive balance. I like them because of Happy Valley, and I like them because they lost last year and they got to redeem themselves. I like Penn State in this one.
I think this is going to be a very physical football game, very, very close. The fact that it's being played at Beaver Stadium, big edge to Penn State. I think that in this football game, you're going to see a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion by Penn State. That's the edge. They've been untested in their first 4 games. I think they'll win today playing with a lot of intensity.
You guys are of the same mind. I get nervous. I'm not so sure. That's part of ABC's regional coverage. Yes.
Johnson's not going today.
Seth Hansen will get the call. Misdirection this time for Derek Homer. And the fullback rumbles inside the 40 down to the 39 before Ray Green, the free safety, could haul him down.
Boy, and Homer made it.
Outside the 28, a first down 10 for Kentucky. Sanford in motion. Quick out to White again. Another missed tackle. Good linebacker. There's the draw, and it's wide open. Homer inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Arturo first down. There's the quick hitch. Inside the red zone, at least with a 3 or a 7.
I promise you they lead the nation in that because there's no team that is better than the red zone.
White, nice juke. Inside the 10 to near the 6-yard line.
Cecil flat because he knows he's going to get one-on-one. And I'll tell you right now, you've got to come up quicker on them. If that's your responsibility, you've got to cover them close.
They can pick up a first down without benefit of a touchdown. There's the fade. Incomplete.
Oh, and a flag.
And a marker comes down. Keo Sanford appeared to be bumped by Wiggins, number 27. And that pass would not have been completed anyway. But it's first and goal, Kentucky. Such are the mistakes made by a team that's been reeling. And there's White for the touchdown.
Well, Tim, South Carolina's got to make an adjustment on that out of the backfield. We've seen White, 4 times in that drive, he caught 4 of those little swings. Look at this. Nobody on him when he's right there. He's open right now. Throw the ball. And look what Couch does. Throws it underneath the arms of the defender.
Almost as if you don't have enough defenders in the box to match up with the number of receivers they have in the pattern.
Welcome back to Bloomington. Rich Walsh, Rod Gilmore, Sean Salisbury on the sidelines. Indiana and Michigan State scoreless right now. Michigan State comes in at number 11 in the country and undefeated at 4-0 for the first time since 1966. Todd Schultz and the Spartans, though, after a first down on their initial drive, had to punt it away. Irvin over the right side. And Cedric Irvin across the 30, out to the 33-yard line. He's out of bounds. It's a first down for Michigan State. Mike Adamle.
How about all the way for a touchdown?
When you don't get the outside wall, break straight up. See, he's looking outside now. Just go straight up the middle, right there. And you see, he breaks through that wall of defenders, and now it's just a foot race. Now he's just got to beat a couple guys, get the angle. He picks up 2 or 3 blocks, and he's off to the races. Nobody is going to touch Craig Yeast.
Kentucky spared last week. Just pass, boy. What a marvelous pass. Caught by Yeast. Touchdown, Kentucky. Is he the real deal?
Oh, boy, you talk about a pinpoint pass with velocity. Watch this pass. Watch this. This is just a rope. He's got it darted in there. Now watch this. Sees him coming across. Look at this. Right between. Look at all the black shirts that were around the ball. And bang. And what a play by Yeast. Just kind of elusive. Doesn't let anybody bring him down.
He just turned Homer Torrance around. He was a whirling dirt.
South Carolina, again, don't force it in. Don't make mistakes. You still have that one timeout. You've got 19 seconds. You've got third down, and you need about 4 or 5 yards.
Right. Almost picked off by Lee Wesley.
That's what he didn't need to do. You escaped, Anthony Wright. You escaped. And he's saying,
out of the hold of Penn.
Little flag on the play.
And the marker comes down.
Fourth quarter, that's going to be on fire.
This is a Kentucky offense that's gotten off to great starts. Hasn't always finished well. Counts just threw that one away, and now the marker comes down.
And there should be one. Nobody.
Crowd rises to attention. 5 wideouts for Couch. Yeast. What a move past Sullivan. First down, Kentucky. Just get it to one of the speed merchants and let him go.
Boy, and Sullivan made a big mistake. Moving in. I think he's going to pass him in a hurry.
2nd and 2. A draw. And he's snuffed out by Corey Atkins. And Tim would be the first to tell you that that was not a pinpoint perfect pass, but he caught it and got a first down. Here comes the blitz. Couch reads it. Has an open receiver. First down and goal. Jimmy Robinson has it. Karis Sullivan being burned in this series.
Yeah, they're going after him. When they lost.
In goal. Mickelson in motion. Anthony Wright. Took a career as a Division II coach before making it to Kentucky.
And then developed mummy ball.
Off the rollout. Mickelson. Is in. Lee Wiggins blocked it. And South Carolina has it at the 15.
Well, for Anthony Wright, this could be the ball game. This is one of those big plays where he cannot force it into trouble.
Hendrick, another first down, and the clock will continue to tick. Play fake, Wright looking for Champaign. Another tremendous play.
You hear the genius of Vivaldi. You see the brilliance of autumn in mid-Pennsylvania. A natural palette for the lady's brush. But there's thunder coming to Happy Valley today. The immovable object of Ohio State meets the irresistible force of Penn State. One of the defining games of the 1997 college football season, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Penn State Nittany Lions. They may stretch the seams of Beaver Stadium some today to get the crowd in the house for this matchup of undefeated Big Ten teams. Penn State comes in number 2 in the nation, Ohio State number 7.
The mystique that is Notre Dame football was built by great coaches, Rockne and Leahy, Harsigian and Holtz. Now it's first-year coach Bob Davies' turn to continue the championship legacy. But after a 1-4 start, he must find a way to rekindle the luck of the Irish and once again wake up the echoes. It has been 21 years since Tony Dorsett led Pitt to a national title. The Panthers have had little to celebrate in recent years. But new coach Walt Harris is forging a new image for the Panthers in the Steel City and has the Pittsburgh program on the rise back to national prominence. It's Notre Dame in Pittsburgh. NASDAQ College Football on CBS Sports. CBS Sports welcomes you to Pitt Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is a spectacular autumn afternoon in western Pennsylvania. And locally, there is renewed enthusiasm for Panther football as today, Pittsburgh plays host to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And here come the Panthers with a record of 3-2, including an upset victory earlier this season over the Miami Hurricanes. They were supported in that upset win by a very vocal home crowd, and Walt Harris, the first-year head coach, expects more of the same from this large gathering at Pitt Stadium today. Good afternoon, everyone.
But not if the running game operates like that much all day. They go back to Curtis Enos again. He gets away from one tackler around the corner. Aaron Harris through the block. So it is now 2nd down and 2 for Penn State. Jurevicius, the man in motion. He's on a streak down the field, and they let it go to the sidelines for Chappie Fields, and it's overthrown, incomplete. He was covered by Ahmed Palmer. Jurevicius had cut it back and gone straight down the middle of the field.
He said he likes to take chances. He's very calm. He's a 5th-year senior, as I mentioned. As they came out to start the drive, backed up, he kind of told the fans in the end zone, just quiet down now so we can hear the plays in the huddle.
3rd down and 2. Ball is handed away to Curtis Enos, and Enos slashes in close to a 1st down. He needed to get one. He'll have to wait another season to win 300.
And they're going for it, and these are the decisions that have to be made by head coaches when you go from an assistant to being a head coach. And Joe has been the head coach here for 32 years. These are the tough decisions you have to make now. It remains to be seen whether the Raps are going to snap the ball.
Yeah, they may come up there and try to tease him.
Right.
Enos and Harris, quarterback sneak. He needed about a foot, and it would appear that he has it.
It's just
68 degrees at kickoff. Light breeze out of the southeast, and the forecast is for more of the same throughout the afternoon. An impressive sight as we look down at Pitt Stadium, which sits high atop a hill on this very hilly University of Pittsburgh campus. Notre Dame has...
Foley is the man in motion, a tight end. They roll it the other way and throw underneath it, and the pass is caught by Cuncho Brown. So Cuncho Brown, the other tight end, comes up with the catch. Ball is at the 43 of Ohio State. Jurevicius is the man in motion. He's 6'5" and 230. Ball goes to Enos. He's hit by Rudzinski, Jerry Rudzinski. Got him. They go to the eye now with Enos deep. Harris short. Jurevicius. Fields and Nastasi. It's Enos. And Curtis muscling early in the ball game. Damon Moore, the safety, had to come up and get him. In the ball game,
and Enos would have stayed as a linebacker. He said he would have been a great one. He knew where I was going with it. He said he would have been a great one.
3rd and 1, and they go slam it in the middle with Harris. And Aaron Harris come weaving out of the huddle, and Nastasi to the bottom. He goes toward the big man, Jurevicius, and overthrew him. He had broken his first drive, didn't wait for him to get open. Jurevicius going toward the top. That'll put him up there with Fields. So they're both up there. But this time, they go on the ground with it. The penalty flag is thrown. And 5. At the 25. McQuarrie sets up the throw. Fields in the end zone. Incomplete, overthrown. Again, he had a receiver open. McQuarrie is 3rd and 5. Pettigrew is the man in motion. Ball is thrown to Harris. He's got the 1st down. He's taken down at the 17-yard line. Captain Moyer, the tackle for the Buckeyes.
He's missed on a couple long throws, but he's hitting the underneath stuff. Franny Ganner was telling me that he may have to do this. He may have to take away the long stuff. And I remember Franny was telling me yesterday, he says, Joe doesn't like those drives. On the opening drive, you get 3 plays, a big play, and a touchdown. He says, doggone it, I didn't want that. He says, I want those 10, 12 play drives to open up the ball game. Well, he's getting one here.
Enos in motion. McQuarrie getting the block and goes down to the 5-yard line. Kevin Johnson, playing the boundary side linebacker for Ohio State, knocked him out.
More than anything else, in a quarterback, what you want, not necessarily a strong arm, not necessarily very agile and can run. You want somebody that can make good decisions. Everybody was covered. There was running room. He saw it, recognized it, and picked up a first down. Nice play by McCreary.
It's inside the 5, just barely, and it's first down and goal for Penn State. Drive by Travis Morney is good. They go 81 yards in 14 plays, and Aaron Harris scored from the 5.
They have answers to the defensive problems they face, and that's important.
Schulters running effectively on the opening drive for the Panthers.
And fell forward. That's punishing the defense. That'll take a toll as the game wears on.
And he's not a big back, 5'7", 180. He's open in the flat and has the first down. Jimmy Friday with the tackle at the 42-yard line. An impressive opening march for Pittsburgh after the kickoff return by Allen Rossum of Notre Dame.
Ohio State may have lost the ball. Penn State recovers around the 20.
They've had some fumbles. The guy that makes the play is Courtney Brown, number 86. This is an option. Penn State was concerned about this play. The option, second play of the game, they come with it. And Fornattle, number 99, looks like he's the guy that recovered.
Sean Lee, I think, 24, wound up in the scuffle and got up with it.
Well, that big guy, Fornattle, should have had it.
Yeah, he should have. He bounced off of it.
There's been a problem for the for the Ohio State, the running backs, Pearson and Wiley have both fumbled. They fumbled 7 times, now 8, and they've lost the ball 6 of the 8 times they've fumbled it.
So it's a great opportunity for the Nittany Lions to build a cushion. The ball is on the Ohio State 21. They already lead 7-0 off the opening possession. Let's see if McCreary goes to the end zone on the first play. He's looking at it. He goes underneath to Harris. Harris spinning, gets away from 1, 2. Big play by Aaron Harris. He's inside the 10. It's first and goal at the 9 as Winfield Garnett finally brought him down. We're only at 9.5 minutes to go in this first quarter, and Penn State threatening to make it a 2-touchdown lead. As McCreary stands, gets some pressure, lost it into the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Pettigrew covered by Winfield, and Katzenmoyer had come through, and for the first time today was eyeballing the Penn State quarterback McCreary. Motion pushing Juravicius over there. Hand it inside to the big man Ennis, and Curtis Ennis will pound his way down near the 5-yard line. Conversation earlier with the Penn State quarterback McCreary, a young man who knows the circumstances and had this comment about the possibility of getting acquainted with Andy Katzenmoyer.
you know, this is kind of my first real big-time test, a big-time game with a big-time program. We have great respect for Ohio State, and Andy Katzenmoyer is a great player. So the sooner I get hit by him and get some blitzes in my face and stuff, I think the better off I'll be and we'll be as an offense.
I like that, Keith.
He knows who he is, doesn't he? Ball is thrown out of the end zone. That's incomplete.
Well, he's complaining that Winfield was all over him.
Juravicius, number 83, the man who at 6'5" who went up and got it, but a 62-pounder, a 23-yard field goal try, has great acceleration in the kicking leg, and he knocks it right through the middle of the upright. And at 8:36 to go first quarter, 10-0 Penn State.
Got a fine year, passing for nearly 67% as the completion percentage. Third down, a short 3. Paulus with a lot of time, throws, caught for a first down. Bobby Brown wrapped out of bounds at the 50-yard line by Drew.
They're looking at 14 to go, though. The ball is thrown to the left side to David Boston. Boston is hit at about the 10-yard line. So he's a little hot.
Well, and that tells you what Ohio State thinks. They'll probably go back at him again.
3rd and 8. They're looking that way. It's in the corner of the end zone. It's overthrown. David Boston had some room down there as they went right back at King again, but it's incomplete.
They're going at...
Good.
Game. Cloud looking, being pressured, backside gets away from it. Still looking, and right in the hands of B.J. Hill, who had the pick and just dropped it. Oh, B.J. Hill to go in the ball game. McLeod running the no huddle now. Matt Rader was the starting quarterback. McLeod has directed the attack the last 2 drives. Looks out in the flat. Pass is incomplete. Eason. And just over the next week and a half, the leaves will change, and this is just a beautiful sight. And when you come out here, if you got some little kids, lots of things to do with the Crayola Kids Corner. Great family event, and this gives the team some confidence because you got 3. Play the full game, and that's what they're trying to stress, even if you're up big. Little flip to Alexander, incomplete. Ball will go over and down to Lehigh, and that means the Engineers definitely now have victory number 2.
Pretty good. Coming sideways.
Can you believe that?
1-yard line.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Out of baseball, it doesn't go straight.
Foot away from the goal line, and they hand it inside to Aaron Harris.
Pincus and Vrabel and Fickle and Belisari and Springs and all those guys.
McQuarrie out of the end zone. Ball is caught at the 6 by Scioli, the tight end. Brad is wrestled down at the 7. On 3rd down and 4. If they don't make it, Ohio State's going to get some pretty good field position. Here's a rollout for the quarterback. And he's down. He won't go anywhere as Andy Katzen. Just pass away, and it is caught by Juravicius on the far side at the 26-yard line.
That's a battle right there.
Winfield couldn't handle him that time.
Winfield against Juravicius. Juravicius came in with 17 receptions on the year, 7 for touchdowns, and a bunch of big plays. Winfield is going to be following him all day, like Springs did. He turns him around. A great move by somebody who is 6'5", as Juravicius is. We'll be watching this too all day.
Make it a first down at the 25.
That's his first catch of the day.
He only caught 1 ball last year in Columbus. This is Harris. And Harris is inside the 10-yard line before Damon Moore can knock him out of bounds. So Ohio State came back to tie, and now Penn State carry the ball. Penn State running the ball very well. It's Harris again. And they'll gang up on him.
And a tough way to go this summer. He had a barely was eligible, and then he sprained an ankle, and then he lost his father to an illness, a serious illness, and they just buried him on Thursday.
Quickly to the end zone, touchdown, Nastasi. Nastasi lined up wide. They left him alone. He has not seen the ball all day, and McQuarrie stood up and hooked him, and it's 6.
There's nobody lined up over him. There was a miss.
Nope.
They were lined up incorrectly, the Buckeyes, and that was a gift.
Nobody covered him, and McQuarrie saw it. And the local media has been writing sometime now, wondering aloud if McQuarrie was ready to play. I think you have your answer.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, this kid is level-headed. He's waited his turn.
Oh boy, that just squeezed in, but it's good by Travis Forney. And so Penn State comes banging right back to untie the game and regain the lead at 17-10. 7 plays, 72 yards.
The strength of that defense is the linebackers, not the line.
McQuarrie rolls out and gets it away down the middle for Jared Bishop. He's got it. Now he does not have it. He did not hold it when he came down. Jared Bishop. Well, the official was standing there, and he was not shielded away by bodies. He was looking.
They are outstanding.
3rd down and 8 now for the Nittany Lions. From their own 47-yard line, the ball is handed away to Curtis Enos, picking his way through the traffic, but they get him down finally as he gets over to the 49-yard line. Ahmed Palmer, who plays the bound, and they've got great speed to the outside. And they've been getting good protection. The pass is away. The pass is completed to D. Miller. That stops your clock as they move the chains for the first down to the Penn State 33 at 18 seconds remaining. Ohio State with 1 timeout remaining.
And the clock is stopped for a first down. Then he will mark it ready for play. Now it starts.
Spike it. Now, well, they're in the shotgun now, so I think you can expect it.
Take a shot over here on our side, bottom of the screen.
They get it to Keller, and Keller gets it out of bounds down around the 10-yard line.
All right, good call. Hit at the back and make sure he gets out of bounds.
The pull within 1. It's away, and it is no good. So all of that is wasted as the field goal sails wide. And at halftime, your score will be Penn State 17, Ohio State 13. So everything worked to a point.
John better get his spirits up because he may need him to kick a field goal to win the game later in the ballgame.
So we'll take a deep breath at Happy Valley and rest up for the second half. Penn State leads by 4.
In the first game, Wisconsin would be perfect. Ron Dayne, 66 yards. He rumbles on this one. Wisconsin takes a 28-7 lead. They win it 31-7, once again behind Ron Dayne.
Yeah, as Ron Dayne goes, so does Wisconsin go. They're 8-0 when he rushes for over 200 yards, 28 carries, 207 yards on the day, a couple of touchdowns. Now, just to put this into perspective, he's just a sophomore, but already he has more career games over 200 yards than all of the active running backs in the Big Ten combined, 8-7.
That is saying something. Another great day for Ron Dayne. Kentucky against South Carolina. Tim Couch leading the nation in touchdown passes, but here he's picked off by Arturio Freeman. The ball bounces up, he grabs it, then he returns this one 50 yards for the touchdown. South Carolina took a 7-point lead at that point and went on to win this one. 38-24 was the final. Anthony Wright, 3 touchdown passes, and Tim Couch airing it out again despite the loss.
Yeah, he's a real emerging star in Hal Mummy's system at Kentucky. 31 of 46, nearly 300 yards, 2 touchdowns in the pick. But until Kentucky gets a better defense, they're going to have to try to just outscore people every single week.
Don't forget, next week, regional coverage here on ABC.
Urban's one of those guys that has really been hurting people catching the ball out of the backfield and really didn't know a whole lot about him in terms of being a punt returner, but now coming back, special teams and their defense, Jim, these guys have given up 54 points on the season. They host Penn State the last Saturday of November. Watch out, Nittany Lions.
Urban runs back the punt 80 yards for a touchdown, rushed also for 2 scores and a career high.
Well, this is the 38th kick that the teams have blocked under Fisher DeBerry at Air Force in 14 years, and they just find a way to win this year.
That's the only touchdown the Air Force scored today. Good enough for a 10-7 win, snapping Navy's 8-game home winning streak. Kansas State rebounds.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right after this.
Through the air.
Pete Gonzalez was 3 out of 12 in the first half for 15 yards. Longest completion of the half was 7 yards. They start on the ground to begin the second half. Schulters back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Notre Dame, the quarterback comparison. One notable error.
Well, if Pittsburgh has a chance in this game, Pete Gonzalez has got to heat it up a little bit. He's got to have a much better second half than he did the first 30 minutes.
Coach has told us when he gets hot, he gets very hot. He dumps it over the middle to the third tight end, Juan Williams. Gain out to the 21, 6 yards on the play. Benny Gilbo put the pop on Williams, who just made his second catch of the year. Gonzalez after a very rough start. Now 9 out of 18 passing for 115 yards. Barlow is the tailback, and he takes the handoff. Doesn't go far. Jimmy Friday on a gorgeous day in western Pennsylvania. The rejuvenated Pittsburgh football program with a big crowd on hand. Very vocal crowd. Entertaining Notre Dame. The Irish have won the last 7 head-to-head in this rivalry. Notre Dame trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Has a 24-7 lead in a big play here on third down at the 9-yard line. 3rd and 7. Touchdown! They fooled Notre Dame with the run, and Barlow has his second career touchdown.
Third and 13.
Penn State is setting off in their prevent defense. To Pearson. Pepe Pearson to the 8-yard line. That's a first down. First and goal, Ohio State. And Pepe Pearson from 8 yards. Ben Gilbert and Eric Golding is connecting with his favorite target, Juravicius. Aaron Harris running very well in traffic. May go. Touchdown, Penn State. No flags. Just a spectacular effort by Aaron Harris. .51 yards. The game was over. They were up by 10 points. They thought it was over. I'm writing it down and putting it away for future reference. The kick is good by Forney. And suddenly it's only a 3-point ball game again. Blocking. Katzenmoyer gets pushed aside by Conlon. Barry, number 1, poor tackling. Some things, Keith, when you get up by 10 points in a nice, close game, they didn't tackle. Katzenmoyer got himself run out of the play. I think that was Garnett. And then Barry. One team thought it was over. The other says, we got to get out there and get some points. And they did. With 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter, that is the longest run in Aaron Harris's history at 51 yards. Previous long was 49. And there were at least 5 Buckeyes that had a chance
to take him down.
Well, that got this crowd back in the ball game, Keith, and that's bad for the Buckeyes because when they scored that last touchdown, they kind of took the crowd out of it.
Wiley at the goal line is coming. Still going. Puts a head and a shoulder into a defender and gets it up to the 30-yard line. 27-24. Ohio State back after this message underway. Back to the 21-yard line. So it's 3rd and 19. Coming again. Nelson after him. Jermaine completes the pass to Boston. Boston got loose for a moment and got all the way back out to the 38-yard line before they brought him down. But man, they'd like to have get the ball. Good kick by Bartholomew. It is Kenny Watson at the 11, running sideways and down at the 14.
To the end zone, to the 5-yard line rather, for a first down. Short of the end zone, Malcolm Johnson, Curtis McGee, and John Jenkins combine on the stop. But Notre Dame picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare. It'll be first and goal for the Irish. This backfield, as a result, it's Jarius Jackson handing off to Denson. Big touchdown for Notre Dame.
15-yard line. McQuarrie to throw it. Gets it off. Pass is completed to Scioli, the tight end. First down at the 32. First down and 15. This is Curtis Enos. That's a first down and then some.
The defense,
Ostrowski.
The defense for the Buckeyes have just stopped playing. They got up by 10 points. They thought the game was over.
All right, John, second down and 8. McQuarrie back, has a lot of time and throws complete to Puncho Brown, the tight end. He threw a bullet and it just froze the Ohio State defender, and it's moved the chains for Penn State.
Seems like any play will work.
Aaron Harris is back in the backfield with Enos. McQuarrie throws again. It's Juravicius to the sidelines. And first down, no, not quite. He's going to be put down about the 28-yard line. Antoine Winfield covering.
And of course, Coop likes to talk about his guys. He talks about Katzenmoyer as the best linebacker. Joe Pa doesn't do that.
On second and 1, McQuarrie wants to go big.
Took it away from him. That's a great...
Slapped it out of his hands, did he?
Yes, he did.
Chafee Fields was under it.
What a play. That's as good as any touchdown he'll ever catch to stop that from being an interception.
Ahmed Plummer up, has it in his hands, and Fields goes over the top and took it away from him. How about that?
Oh, that's great camera work, guys. That's great. A bad throw by McQuarrie. If anything, you want to throw it out of the end zone. Give your guy a chance, but not the other team.
It is 3rd and 1 now. They need to make the first down. And they hand it to Aaron Harris to do that. And he does. Down to the 20. 10:40 to play in the game. Pettigrew in motion. And it to Enos. And he's gone. Touchdown. Aaron Harris through the block that spun him. And the Lions have gone back to the lead. The Ohio State defense is beleaguered right now. Forney's kick is good. 10:31 to play in the game. 31-27 Penn State. By the new Dodge. It's About Change by Miller Lite, who reminds you that anything can happen at Miller time. And National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. 7, 6, 5, 4. Get it away on 3. Jermaine rolling out. Gets it away, and it is incomplete. Bangs off the shoulder pad of Kenyon Rambo. Sean Lee. Ball's a little higher, it might have worked.
Sean Lee made the play. He came from nowhere. He's the free safety.
And Penn State will get the ball back with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the game, leading 31-27. When Ohio State went to a 27-17 lead, the defense just sort of sagged and let Penn State come roaring back. And once they got momentum, boy, I tell you, it's like a 18-wheeler going downhill with Curtis Enos, and he's going again. From the 38-yard line of Ohio State, he rumbles on down to about the 37 and a first down.
From the Big Ten have been different schools, Ohio State, Northwestern, Penn State. Not only that, but the 5 representatives from the Pac-10 on the right side have all been different the last 5 years also. So a lot of balance.
I think you can win the Big Ten this year with a loss, though.
Well, you have to go through that tiebreaker.
Yeah. Penn State finishes the season up at Michigan State, November 29. But they play Michigan here. And Curtis Enos going around the corner. Finally brought down by Ahmed Plummer.
Hello, America.
Ball is inside the 20-yard line now. 2nd down and 3. Precious time ticking away in Penn State's favor. Enos with the ball. Gang tackle behind the line of scrimmage. First man fighting through the traffic. Number 2, Ohio State, number 7. Down to the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Nittany Lions. And McCleary takes a knee. They got all the points they need. 29 seconds, counting, 28. So what a ball game we had, huh? The Chevrolet most valuable players are D. Miller from Ohio State, 8 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. Curtis Enos from Penn State, 23 carries, 211 yards and a touchdown. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund, a Chevy tradition for more than a quarter of a century. Okay, the Lions come in number 2 in the nation, Bob. Ohio State comes in number 7. If Florida loses, maybe. If Florida loses, they would get the vote. I mean, they would get the vote for number 1.
No question they're
If
number 1.
Florida does not lose, I doubt very much they will move to number 1.
I don't think they will. It'll be close.
It'll be close. So, it is Penn State winning their first real test of the season by a final score of 31-27.
Come out and establish their running game. They cannot afford to come in and go 1, 2, 3 pass and be out.
Well, Kevin Federick out of Los Alamitos, California. You see the numbers he put up last week, 345 yards, a touchdown, a couple of picks. Had an ankle problem in the 3rd quarter. The question, as we talked to Norv Chow, the offensive coordinator, how long can he go tonight? That's going to be a question mark we'll have to watch. Cougars trail by 7. They're going to start it on the ground, right up the middle, and not much.
Going to be operating a lot of the time. It is still very wet. You can see right here, it's almost an inch of water on the ground. There are some drains here, and there's a big pump that's pumping this water out of here, but it is extremely slippery already.
Now you bring the soap.
I tell you, Holly's got that headset on, putting her hand in the water.
Watch out.
You know, not being an electrical engineer.
Second down goal from the 9-yard line. Not much good up front defense by Brigham Young. They stopped Michael Perry to the 8-yard. Third down from the 8. Nelson's going to keep it, has some room, and again hits the deck, kicks up some water down to the 6-yard line. Spencer, 24-yard attempt. The kick is up and good. On his right, looks like he's limping though on the left ankle. We'll keep an eye. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Big hole, McKenzie following his center, Jason Anderson, and his right guard, Matt Cox.
And he said he felt fine, but he just looks bad walking around out there.
A little stumble on the snap, loose ball. Did they call him down?
He was down.
Called him down. The knee was down at the 36-yard line. Terrence Melton bringing the rush for the Rice Owls. BYU down by 9. 3rd down and 5. Federick buying time, dumps it underneath. The linebacker's incomplete. Incomplete. Federick will have to slowly walk off the field. Shoemaker, who started the season, Kellen, against Washington, played a half and then was pulled, warming up on the sideline.
He should warm up because I think he's coming into the ball. We talked about it in the open. This is not what they can allow happen against this BYU team. The big play when they got beat last year, 49-0, it was a big play that did them in. No pressure whatsoever on the quarterback. He sits back there. He has a cup of tea. He orders a couple of donuts. He downs one of the donuts. I think it was a glaze. Sits there, takes another sip of tea, and then goes deep for the touchdown.
Over-the-shoulder catch. 70-yarder from Kevin Federick to Aaron Roderick. Junior college transfer out of Ricks. His 2nd touchdown of the season. Potchman in to try the extra point. High snap. Kick is up. And good.
Maybe he is okay. Maybe he knows best. But there was no pressure. No, they've got to get pressure on him.
Aaron Roderick, only 5'9", 160. But the key, and Kellen, you touched on it, was just the incredible protection. That big front line, 6'6", 306 of Brigham Young gave Federick. You could still make that catch, pal.
I could have made the throw.
There you go.
With that much time. He's going to sit back here and just use that full protection. He keeps both backs in. Look at him. Sit, sit, sit. Now I found somebody. And this is one of Rice's problems, the inability to put pressure on the quarterback.
Well, BYU show they can hit in a hurry. Federick says, hey, what's the worry? I'm fine. 3 plays, 72 yards, and the 70-yarder, the big hit to that man, Roderick. Only 50 seconds off the clock, and all of a sudden, 9-7, Rice with a 2-point lead.
Florida in the shotgun formation. Doug Johnson up top. Picked off by LSU's Cedric Donaldson. He goes the distance, 30 yards in all, and the Bayou Bengals lead by 7. Carl Reese, defensive coordinator, mighty happy. Spurrier upset.
All right, thanks, Mike. 4:46 left in that game.
The senior, who's got a lot of experience. Option play. Run it back into the boundary. Here's Tyler. He will score. The LSU Tigers trying to make it a 14-point lead. Extra point is up, and it is good. Danny Boyd with the successful try, and with 11:40 left in our ball game, all of a sudden we'll start keeping a close eye on that clock as number one position is in jeopardy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Coming the game. Swing pass, Fred Taylor has the first down. And the stop is made at the 38. Again, it's Don massaging his legs, obviously cramps. You see the pressure. Johnson's pass complete to Kareem. Chuck Wiley with the pressure.
by taking...
Replacing Cooper Carlisle and Mo Collins. Zach Pillar went out in the very first quarter with an injury. Johnson sets up the screen. Fred Taylor right over the middle. Gets by one, gets by two, and finally going to be tackled at the 32-yard line. Cummings on the stop. It's good for 16. Pressure on Johnson, barely got it away, and it's going to be overthrown. Richardson is the man that he wanted, and there's Troy Twilley again, who was applying the pressure. Doug is slow getting up. Look at this.
Well, you talked about Steve Spurrier, said he took far too many hits in the Arkansas game. Here's what he's...
Doug Johnson has proven he is a very tough guy, though. 29 of 49 and 3 pickoffs. Gets his pass away. That's complete. Good for the first down, and the official says keep the clock running. And in fact, when they snap the ball again, it's going to be under 9 minutes to play in the game.
Again, LSU just keeping everything in front of them. Wholesale substitutions. Trying to keep fresh people chasing Doug Johnson. They'll probably go under center here around in a 3rd and 1 situation so that they have the running play.
3rd and short. Here comes the blitz. Taylor right up the middle, bounces and spins off the tackler inside the 20. Full stride. On first down, far sideline, the pass goes and knocked away. Cedric Donaldson, who already has 2 interceptions, working against Green. 10th play of the drive. Here comes the blitz right up the middle. Johnson cannot get it off. Sacked way back at the 36-yard line. Joe Wesley and Troy Twilley.
Well, that's coming back, though. They're offside. There's no way that LSU was not offside on that play. Now not the huddle, getting the signals from the sideline. Cost them some time, but if they were huddled, it'd be about the same amount of time to get the line of scrimmage.
Fred Taylor dropped the football. And again, Rayon Hill came up to make a hit. Coming to 9.5-yard line. Got it complete to his tight end. And Kenny, let's see if he got the first down. He is very, very close.
Flag down. Carlisle, number 70, the left tackle, and didn't get a call.
Pass knocked away, and now the flag comes down. Chris Beard. Well, but they, as you're saying, could benefit from it.
Could benefit.
From the shotgun. Quick out pass. That's Green. Turns it up at the 10. Inside the 5, and he's down to the 3-yard line. Joe Wesley defensively. Second and go. Johnson zings it too high for Green. It'll be 3rd down.
Had too much on that in your center, so you got the possibility of a run here.
Quick pitch. Fred Taylor turns the corner at the 1. Touchdown, Florida. Frazier with a good block.
To chase Doug Johnson.
3 wide receivers out to the right. Johnson gets it away, and it is caught by Richardson at the 26. And it was Theo Williams, 93, with a good rush. And there's a flag down on the far sideline. Florida had all those wide. Clock is running. 4:07, now 4:06. Can LSU pull the upset over number 1? Here comes the screen. Taylor breaks 1 tackle but will not get away from Charles Smith. It's Smith's. Johnson retreats. Pressure up the middle, and the ball is incomplete. And the reason for it is Johnny Mitchell, a redshirt freshman, also out of Marrero, and he was all over Doug Johnson. Doug had to get rid of the football.
And he threw off the back foot, but here is where Carl Reese's plan's paying off. You watch the throw off of the back foot. He's not able to get anything on that pass. Johnny Mitchell, good pressure, fresh defensive lineman in your last 4 minutes to chase the Florida quarterback.
So it's 3rd down. They need to take it to the 31-yard line to keep it going. And Johnson has gone to the bench. Palmer, the freshman out of Ontario, is in at quarterback. Flag is down. Throws the pass complete right over the middle to Kareem. And now let's check the marker. Is it going to be waved off, or is it against the LSU Tigers?
Foul is a dead ball, unsportsmanlike by the offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal, still third down.
That is huge, Mike.
A big call against the bench. And that's a pretty good hole now to dig out of with 3:18 to go.
So if you just joined us, here's the situation. LSU 28, number 1 Florida 21. Clock is running with 3:10 to play, and it's third down and 22. They need to take it all the way to the 31 if they want to hold on to the football. Johnson goes long, and it is intercepted by LSU. Rayon Hill. Turnovers, 4 interceptions.
Ron, that's really, it's not that bad. We'd like to have a completion, but it's just like a punt. If you wouldn't have made it on that third down, you still would have had to punt. You got 2 timeouts. You still get the football back if you can hold LSU here.
Here's the pitch, the running play by Tyler. He's tripped up. You can see 52 Dwayne Thomas take his feet out from under him. Then he can take it just inside the 44. Tyler throws long, has his man, and it's caught at the 35. It's Booty. He almost dropped that ball because he was taking off to run.
Ron, there's a lot of players in the game tonight. A lot of great coaching tonight, but Herb Tyler has played, has stepped up, and done everything that people here in Baton Rouge expected out of him.
Well, the streak's in jeopardy. 25-game SEC win streak on the line. 19-game SEC road win streak on the line. Clock is running in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Folks, the largest party in South Louisiana that has happened in a long time will kick off if this continues. The handoff right up the middle. There is nothing. In fact, there is a loss of 1 as Elijah Williams comes up to make the tackle. And now Florida cannot stop the clock. It is down to 143 and 142. What Mike's referring to is that was a win by Penn State. Should Florida drop this one tonight, you would think that Penn State, Nebraska, and Florida State, North Carolina, all of those clubs would move up.
Yeah, you put a W beside Nebraska and Florida State tonight, too.
Nebraska has already
on lead.
39, now 38. Tyler straight ahead on the carry. 33 seconds. Tonight's Visa players of the game from Florida. Fred Taylor, 169 yards from LSU. Cedric Donaldson, 2 interceptions. As part of their continuing effort for the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 on behalf of these 2 athletes. Clock is down to 14, down to 13. Let them count it off for you. Official. The LSU Tigers, a 15-point underdog, has knocked off the number 1 ranked Gators from the University of Florida by a score of 28-21. Karsten, let's go down to the sideline.
Coach, congratulations. Take all the SEC winning streaks, potential winning streaks, and throw them away. You just knocked off the number 1 team in the nation.
Well, I'm just really happy for our team. They played really hard, and they really deserve to have something like
like this happen to him. Saturday Night Live in Death Valley. What does that mean? Greatest fans in America. Herb Tyler had to have a great night. He had to be able to run and throw the ball. He did both superbly. Yeah, he really did. He fought really hard. He kept his poise, and he just played a great game. Just a great team win. What they did with that curl route in the first half was really the only play burning you. Found a way to make an adjustment and got the job done. I didn't hear a word you said. Congratulations, Coach Donato, on a huge, huge victory and upset. Ron?
Adrian Karsten, thank you so much. All I can say is for all parents who are watching tonight that have kids here, I hope there's no curfew. Final score, LSU 28, the Florida Gators 21. Stay tuned. The Residence Inn College Scoreboard is coming up next. And don't forget, next Saturday, we'll join you from Birmingham as Peyton Manning and the Tennessee Volunteers take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. For Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's join Mike Tirico.
Okay, Ron, welcome to the Resident Inn College Football Scoreboard Show. Number 1 knocked off. It is the first time that regular season number 1 has gone down since obviously the Florida State game last year. But with Penn State likely the new number 1, in terms of the coaches poll, it will be the first time in 45 weeks of polling that number 1 is not Nebraska, Florida State, or Florida. Much more on this between now and the top of the hour when SportsCenter comes along. We're going to get you right back out to bat for John Hessler. Dwayne Sherrington through the secondary. The vaunted OSU defense, poor tackling. A 73-yard touchdown. Colorado 0-1 in the conference. May hang the first loss on Oklahoma State this year. We're going to keep an eye on this throughout the rest of our scoreboard. 29. Saladin McCullough itching to get going. Boy, he certainly did. For the Ducks, in a wild first quarter, McCullough, 71-yard touchdown, 14-10. Both of these teams can put up points. And UCLA's offense certainly did. Down 24-20. Great play fake by Cade McNown. Up top, Jim McElroy beat the defensive back who was sucked in by the play fake. That touchdown turned out to be the game winner. UCLA goes on to beat Oregon 39-31. The Ducks did score late. UCLA, a lot of points in the last few games, now 4-2 after the sluggish start. And for those of you who are hanging out watching the baseball game, we welcome you as LSU has knocked off number 1.
State will be number 1. They beat Ohio State. I did not have Penn State number 2 in the last poll, but I will move them up. They are number 1. And to tell the truth, they're number 1 until they lose because they have to go to Michigan State. They have the schedule in their favor, as Mr. Corso pointed out. That was the reason Florida wasn't going to repeat. The schedule, road schedule, was too brutal. Penn State will have to win at Michigan State, but if they're 10-0, Mr. Joe Paterno will win game number 300.
And that is the finale against Michigan State. That would be the final game of the regular season for Paterno potentially going for that record. You guys clearly agree that Penn State is a stranglehold on number 1. And what about the other teams that were in the top 5 who won convincingly today?
I don't know about clearly. I think they had to fight to save their lives and save a victory today against a good Ohio State football team. I think a team to keep in mind, Florida State. They continue to get better and better. And also, don't forget, North Carolina, although they're not looking impressive, they're still undefeated out there. And, of course, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I still think the Alliance is in a pretty good position.
I don't think they are, and I got to do this because I fulfill my promise.
You are the king of headgear, Lee, if not head cases. What this means for the SEC, though, guys, Frankenstein, Tennessee's back in the Eastern Division race. They still need another loss by Florida because the Gators would have the tiebreaker by virtue of their victory over Tennessee. And LSU still needs a couple of losses by Auburn. I can't stay serious here. We're going to regroup. I promise you the party is just beginning here in Baton Rouge. Let's go back to Mike Scurry.
What are you doing over here with this?
Chris, it's very difficult. We understand. We want to welcome probably Penn State in the coaches poll. Penn State beat undefeated Ohio State. Let's show you what happened in Happy Valley today. 10-3 Penn State. Ohio State ball in the second quarter. Joe Germain, who played 3 quarters of this game. Stanley Jackson wasn't effective in the first about 17 minutes or so. Up top to D. Miller. Spectacular catch in double coverage. Game tied at 10. Penn State driving. Mike McQuarrie, 6-yard touchdown pass to Joe Nastasi. 17-10. The lead was by 4 for Penn State. Ohio State takes the lead. Jermaine to a wide-open David Boston, called for celebration, believe it or not, on this play, but that didn't hurt them. Ohio State led by 10. Penn State grounded out. You're going to hear why in a minute. Aaron Harris, incredible run. 51-yarder, 3-point game. Defense for the Nittany Lions, they hold. And then Curtis Enis. Last year, Curtis Enis heard it from the fans, took it personally for his poor performance against Ohio State, came up big today. And Joe Paterno beats John Cooper. Penn State beats Ohio State 31-27. We told you that Enis took it tough. He got a letter from a fan who was unhappy. He held on to that letter for a year, burned it before today's game, and was emotional after the game.
The entire game was fun. I mean, we came out there. We just want to prove to people in college football that, you know, that we're a good football team. That's what we decided to do when we were down by 10. And we looked at each other in that huddle, and we said, we worked too hard this summer. All the things we went through, got embarrassed last year by them. We wasn't going to let that happen in our place. And we made up our mind as a team, and we went out there and accomplished our goal, what we set forth to do today.
A lesson learned in victory. Earlier on ESPN, the Holy Grail in the Big House, the Stanley Cup on hand. Maybe the fans of Detroit will have a national championship trophy to display. Northwestern tried hitting hard against Michigan, but it wasn't enough. Wolverines, the magic combination. Brian Greasy to Jeremy Tuman, 13-3 at the break. Watch this move by Greasy. Mike Nelson has him for a key fourth-quarter sack, right? No! Greasy gets away. Who's he looking for? 8-0. Jeremy Tuman, the Maize and Blue, avenged last year's heartbreaking loss to Northwestern, and they beat the two-time defending conference champions 23-6. The Vols on their turf. Peyton Manning, Marcus Nash, 13-yard score, 7-0 Tennessee. Game tied at 10, though. Georgia bounced back, rallied back. Mike Bobo led them on a touchdown and a field goal drive. Manning with an answer. How does this get through to Cedric Wilson? 8 yards through all the arms and bodies. 17-10 Vols. In the second quarter, 3rd and 8. Keeping their own territory. Pass the ball with Peyton? No. How about running a freshman? Jamal Lewis had an immense day for Tennessee. 4 carries of over 30 yards, 38 there. That set up the drive to continue, and Manning 8 yards to Peerless Price. Good work to get in the end zone. Tennessee wins 38-13 for Peyton Manning. His big numbers, a 5th straight game over 300 yards passing. Sanders era hoping to stay unbeaten against Colorado. Seesaw affair. Tony Lindsay rolling, chased, finds Alonzo Mays in the end zone. 19-yard touchdown. Add the extra point. Oklahoma State leads by 4 with a $1:54 left. Colorado is waiting the kickoff. We'll keep a close eye on this wild finish in Stillwater. Speaking of teams who tried to stay undefeated and had a tough day, Air Force taking on Navy. It's a 4-point Navy lead. The punter is back, but Charlie Jackson for Air Force, the kick block. Tim Curry recovers for touchdown. Tim Curry, who's been a huge factor for Air Force this year. 10-7 Falcons lead. Blaine Morgan, the quarterback, got knocked out in the 3rd quarter of this game. A shoulder injury off this Travis Cooley hit. He went out of the game. The Air Force offense stagnated, but Navy's Chris McCoy fumbled the Hudson to Benji Wood. Benji Wood. Touchdown. Behind the shed. 16-7 Rice. BYU comes right back. Brian McKenzie up the middle. A lot of touchdowns between the hash marks today, folks. 40-yard score. 3rd quarter just about to kick off over on the Deuce, and a good one. Rice leads by 2. So a great day and night of college football continues on the networks. Good second half coming up over on the Deuce after you stay with us. New Mexico, San Diego State. Ted Tollner's San Diego State team down 3-0 in the second quarter.
Graham Lee still has it.
It is Graham Lee. Nice fake. Rolling out down the sidelines. Graham Lee, the touchdown for New Mexico. Another of the teams that are surprising unbeaten trying to stay that way. They lead by 9. Red River rivalry. This is Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams, 2 touchdowns today. 223 yards rushing. Topped statistically by Damond Parker, a school record 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's the 4th time in college football history that 2 backs in the same game on opposing teams have gone over 200 rushing yards. And it's happened with Texas twice this year. Still, Texas comes out the winner in this game, 27-24. Here's our lineup on EA. Considered for the Colorado head coaching job when Rick Neuheisel got it. Final play, John Hessler flushed out of the pocket. The Oklahoma State defense comes up big when it needs to. Oklahoma State, 6-0 on the season. They're off next week. Colorado definitely will fall out of the poll now, and that ends the second longest streak of a ranked team at 143 consecutive weeks. For the first time since '88, Colorado will be unranked when the poll comes out on SportsCenter tomorrow morning. Now back to the big one where
now they've gone inside, and now the Sox up and over. Federic, a little lazy pass to the flats, out of bounds, incomplete. Let's go to the studios, and
that's what they are.
Third down, 9. And now flags. 3 wideouts on third down and 14 from the 11-yard line. From the shotgun. Over the middle, into double coverage, incomplete at the 50.
These owl decals on their helmet after every single game. But this year, the players talked to equipment manager Jerry Fowler, and they said, hey, if we win a game, we want to show our wounds of war. We want to look like we've been in a battle. And so he agreed. If they win a game, the decals stay no matter what condition they're in. But if they lose, they get brand new ones, and they look all too unused.
All right, Ollie, yeah, let's bruise them up, scratch them up. You can see the helmet of Chad Nelson's got a few scuff marks on those wings.
And he's earned them tonight.
Nelson couldn't have time, did not have time for the pitch. Good read.
Mountain, the Lobos, Graham Lee going up top 67 yards to Pascal Voles. If they win this thing, they'll be 6-0 for the first time ever.
Dennis Francione. Now, you talked about what makes us successful coaches, recruiting. You build offense and defense, but yet the spirituality of a club. And Francione, he's got it down in New Mexico.
He's doing that. We'll talk about that more right after this play.
1st and 10 from the 38. Perry. Knocked down. Washington split out to the far side. 3rd down, 16. Benji Wood will not stop. Bangs to the midfield marker. They'll mark him at the...
The airport did at one time drive a Grand Prix car.
1st and 10. From the 12. New quarterback, Drew Miller, the freshman. Down he goes, safety in the end zone.
Makes a freshman mistake. Held the ball too long trying to set up a screen. That's not a smile, folks.
No.
And I'm sure his brain is not telling his mouth to smile right about now. But Miller just continues to drop back, trying to sell the screen, sees the linebacker run over and cover McKenzie, and steps into the end zone instead of getting rid of the football the moment he saw the screen back covered. Just lack of experience.
Freshman out of Lake.
Held on for a 28-21 win in Death Valley. LSU scored 2 TDs in just over a minute and a half during the 4th quarter to put the Gators away. Meanwhile, number 20 Oklahoma State is 6-0 for the first time since 1945 after this Alonzo Mays TD grab in the 4th quarter. That beats number 24 Colorado 33-29. Curtis Enos's 26-yard TD run in the 4th quarter gave number 2 Penn State the last word of a number 7 Ohio State in a shootout. Jofon, the boys, with a 31-27 win. Meanwhile, number 9 Tennessee ran off 17 unanswered points in the 2nd quarter. Peyton Manning threw for 4 touchdowns for a 38-13 win over number 13 Georgia. Elsewhere in the top 25, Amon Green ran.
Badgers now find themselves in the national ranking, something the team is taking in stride.
At the end of the year, I'd like to be ranked. Right now, it doesn't make any difference. And I'm not going to make an issue of it one way or the other. It doesn't make any difference right now.
Who would have thought Purdue would be 4-1? The Boilermakers are off to their best start since 1984. Last week against Minnesota, Billy Dicken tied a school record with 5 touchdown passes, and Brian Alfred moved into first place on Purdue's all-time receiving yardage list. At 3:30, undefeated Michigan State takes on struggling Northwestern.
And makes them, has responded very well.
Well, let's see if the three-pointer by Minnesota has woken up the Nittany Lions here in Happy Valley. McQuarrie, Aaron Harris. Harris running hard, upended by Craig Scruggs out near the 44-yard line, a gain of about 5. One-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions trailing in the early going to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. 3-0 Minnesota. And a second down coming up. Gain of 6 on the previous play. 2nd and 4. Juravicius, the lone wide receiver. Curtis Enos out across the 45. Denied the 50-yard line, but did get enough for the first down to the 49. Keith Dinwiddie. Scioli on the wing, goes in motion. This is Enos. Enos got a first down up to the 40-yard line.
Strong arm also.
2nd and 11 for Penn State, and Enos around the end. Enos short of the first down inside the 35 near the 34-yard line.
Menard. Save big money at Menard.
Sauter running option to Hamner, who cuts it back to the 16-yard line. The ball popped loose, but the whistle had sounded. The play was over before the fumble. Very effective. 10 touchdowns inside the red zone. Hamner on a straight dive got by one. Frank Penn State. First down, Sauter with a pump fake going to the end zone, overshot everybody out of play. Atwell was well covered by Chino Prater, the far corner of the end zone. Getting some hands on the ball, aren't you there?
They're not missing many tackles so far.
3rd down at about 6. McQuarrie, a long count at the line again. Enos, they wanted to run reverse, it looked like, but the Gophers had it snuffed out. Enos on his own to get the first down, and he does have the first down to the 23-yard line. First down on a gain of about 8 yards. From the 22, and a quick handoff to the fullback, Anthony Cleary, and he is a tank. Cleary at backfield with Cleary. Juravicius in motion, and they roll the pocket on the bootleg. And Mark McQuarrie takes it. He's short of the first down, but inside the 20 near the 17-yard line of Minnesota. Park Williams made the stop, gain of about 3. Off the right hash mark. And here's the kick. And he puts Penn State on the board. 5:25 to go, first half. The Nittany Lions finally score here on their...
Sherman now having to bark it out over the crowd on 3rd and 11. Off the play fake. Intercepted at the 45. The second in this first half for Marcus Ray.
Weatherize and save at Menard. Save big money at Menards.
Gibson again matched with Woodson on the other side. Looks for Dwight, overthrows it.
Gals, Brian Greasy connects with Russell Shaw. 10-yard strike. Michigan on the comeback. It's now Iowa 21-14 over the Wolverines. Wayne?
Frank Penn State, 3rd and 8. Sauter going deep for Atwell. Pass overthrown. It's 4th down, Minnesota.
Thomas has one man to beat. With an angle, Eric Thigpen shoves him out inside the 5. Comeback from 14 down, which they were at the half. Thomas kept his legs driving, but still no signal. Looked like Iowa may have knocked the ball loose, but they'd already called his forward progress. That far away. Thomas again. And again, no signal.
Heads down. Everybody fighting.
Greasy on the sneak, and that time it works.
Yeah, and that time the big guys up front did something with their feet. That's the first time that the O-line came off like they should, and Coach DeBoer will have them on the boards, literally, on the practice field next week. The Michigan staff will not be excited about that drive from the 2-yard line.
McQuarrie play action. Going to the end zone for Shafi Fields, and the pass well overthrown. Good coverage provided downfield by Craig Scruggs. 4th quarter for Penn State for Enos. Nice throw, McQuarrie. Shafi Fields. Shafi Fields had the first down where he was stung back just short of the 25-yard line. It is a first down. A gain. Now Penn State to the doorstep. Their deepest penetration of the afternoon. 2 chances today in the red zone. This is their 3rd. Juravicius, the man in motion. Enos gets the call. Touchdown! 6-yard touchdown run. Curtis Enos, his 10th touchdown of the season.
All right, Jim, 31-24, 10 minutes, 41 seconds to go. Boston College down in 5. James. First down, Miami.
Defender, the pass led the offensive player just a bit too much. Now it is 3rd down again for Minnesota. 3rd and 3. The pitch hander fumbles it. Penn State football. Chris Snyder, the recovery. Second turnover by Minnesota in this 4th quarter.
They occurred. This is the second one for Minnesota deep in their own end of the field.
Juravicius, the lone wide receiver. Enos going around the end. Smelling end zone. Touchdown!
I mean, this is the reflection of where this Penn State program is. Right after a key turnover like that, they take the ball, they put it right into the end zone. They give it to their best back, they run their best play, he breaks the tackle, and they get a touchdown out of it.
Nelson in motion. Sauter. Down he goes. What a rush by Courtney Brown, the defensive end from Alvin, South Carolina. He threw his blocker back into the quarterback. For it. Sauter to keep it alive. Atwell can't hang on, and the Nittany Lions get it back. .2:18 for the game. And Penn State. Juravicius, the lone wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen. Double tights in the ball game. Double tight ends. Enos trying to get to the outside. Looked to cut it back, and Carter brought him down. But it was Rufus Smith who was at the root of the problem as far as Penn State was concerned. Enos again. Cutting it back. Enos spinning to the 5. Very close to the first down. It'll be
there. Couldn't quite finish it off, but made it close. He's got this program heading the right direction.
This first down will allow the Nittany Lions to just basically kill the clock. Run a couple of snaps.
Penn goal from the 2. Play fake, Greasy on the roll, pulls up, there's Jeremy Tillman, and Michigan leads.
#1 Florida lost last week, and Stuart Patridge has a career-high 336 passing yards, 60 on this touchdown to Grant Hurd. Ole Miss has the ball and lead by 12.
Quarterbacks have to bear. Sometimes some of the little things slip away at the toughest times. It happens to everybody.
Marcus Ray creeping up. Here he comes. Safety blitz picked up by Banks. Wide open. Chris Knipper. And the tight end is up to the 31 to make it for Iowa 3rd and about 6. Hey, for Matt Sherman. 1 of 11 on 3rd downs for Iowa. Remember, we're talking about the #2 total offense in the country. Sherman chased and dropped at the 28 by Rod Renas. Gibson right. Ian Gold through the middle. They pick him up on his blitz. Sherman finds Gibson, and Gibson in the open field dragged down at midfield by Charles Woodson, but Iowa is still alive on a 22-yard Sherman to Gibson connection. Coming again with a blitz, and they got him. Clint Copenhaver.
Sherman calls
8 seconds remaining, and they cannot think field goal. Sherman steps up again. There's an open man up the right side for another big chunk. Goes Banks, who has done most of his damage on the ground today. This time he bites off 29 yards worth. Emma. Sherman from the 26. Pressure from Steele. Steps up, and it's intercepted by Sam Sword. Alabama.
Coach Dave is concerned about some substitution rules.
Here's Cloud. And Cloud just carrying defenders, and he'll get close to the... Dennis Harding and Crittenden split wide to the far side.
If you're going to run play action, now's the down.
And here's Walker, touchdown BC. And they just jam it right at Miami and score. It's been touchdown BC. Omari Walker, a 25-yard touchdown run. And Boston College now on top 44-38.
Look at this, they're going for two.
And they're going to go for two.
Wow, this is a departure for Tom O'Brien. He decides he wants to win it here.
Hasselbeck out of the shotgun. Here's the snap. He'll roll to his right. Setting up, got it away. No good. Out of bounds. Great catch by Harding, but he could not keep a foot in bounds in the corner of the end zone.
And I think that's a great call by the referee. 25-yard line, great blocking up front, like good backs do. He cuts it back. And now watch Ridgely, the free safety, come into view, and Omari's going to ride him for about 15 yards. Get off me, touchdown. And now...
And they're going to call him down at the 21.
There's another but Ryan Clement saved his team about 8 or 9 yards.
Straight drop back. Clement under pressure over the middle. Joe, and he is wrapped up at the 24, and he's tackled by the walk-on Brooke Heel. Clement in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami.
That is the exact same play, but different receiver. The post corner route by Jones. He abused Shalom Toll-Free. It was a great pass and a great catch.
Darryl Jones, the true freshman from Dallas, Texas, ties the game up at 44 apiece.
It's a post corner route, man-to-man, the inside break. Clement's looking for him all the way. The ball's delivered on time. It's a great pass, great catch, and Toll-Free was beat to the corner of the end zone.
For Miami. Here we go, and the Miami Hurricanes have won their first Big East game of the the season in dramatic fashion, 45-44, 2 overtimes over Boston College.
Well, in 19...
Ball and does increase Notre Dame's chances to score. Here's Dixon, right side. He's going to lead to about the 1-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and goal to go. Full house backfield. Now going into the left, and it's a touchdown for Notre Dame. Tony Driver goes in. Tony Driver.
Grass that's straight. Here we go. From the right hash. Tough angle. But he got it. Northwestern on the board.
Drilled today by Miami of Ohio. Ryan Leaf stays undefeated. 332 passing yards. Curtis Enos, the 2 touchdowns, dodged the loss, and Damian.
Phillips got it away, but he caught it out of bounds. That was Jack. Phillips drills it. Touchdown, Alabama. Quincy Jackson on the receiving end.
Watson, this 75-yard score, one of his 3 on the afternoon. This Purdue offense is for real. 559 yards of total offense on the day. They got out quick, 21-0 in West Lafayette. And Purdue is on a real roll, 5-1 now. First 5-win season in 12 years, and you see the first 5-game win streak in some 17 years. More on the Boilermaker. Go to Ryan Fields to take on Gary Barnett's Northwestern team. Early second quarter at 7-0 Michigan State. Tim Hughes to Toussaint Waterman. All alone for the touch. Extra point was blocked, so Northwestern's lead was 9-7. $1:35 left, second quarter. What a day for Adrian Autry. Poor tackling and great leg strength. 16-7 Northwestern. Autry at $1.75 on 30 carries. Northwestern's lead was 2. Michigan State for the win. Anwan Jones at 6'3", the sophomore linebacker blocks the field goal that would have won it. Michigan State suffers its first defeat of the season. Northwestern with the victory, 19-17. It really helped. Trying to mount a drive, Ron Paulus intercepted. Mark Cassano comes up with the INT, returns it to the Notre Dame 29. John Robinson. Win one for John? Yes, they would. Adam Abram, 37-yard field goal, SC 20, Notre Dame 17. First Southern Cal win at ND since '81. Notre Dame now in 9 years as they take the field. John Hessler, 11 yards. Von Green. Colorado leads Kansas by 11. The lead is 15 in the third. Zach Wagner intercepted by Marcus Washington. 26-yard touchdown, Buffs up by 22, and after a Kansas fumble, here is Hessler keeping it on the option. Good confidence-building win for the Buffs, who are back to 500 with their first Big 12 win tonight, 42-6. Kansas has to face Nebraska next. Colorado goes to Texas. That'll be the first home game in 6 weeks for Texas since Houston has the ball. Cincinnati's already scored. So it's 38-31 when the Cougars. Jay McGuire goes in from 6 yards out, tied at 38. In OT, Houston just kicked the field goal, so it's 41-38. Oh, since he needs a field goal, what are you doing, Chad Plummer? Fumble. Houston recovers. Game over. Cincinnati, second loss of the season. Both conference losses. Gone over the 50-point mark in 3 straight games. They beat Temple 60-7. Quentin Spotwood Duke with a late field goal. Wake Forest, which turned down the opportunity to go to the Big East in 1A earlier this week, could go to the top of the 1AA poll tomorrow. Ivy Story, Dartmouth, they keep rolling.
Third quarter, Terry Fair waiting for Alabama's punt. He'll never get it because Eric Brown blocks Daniel Pope's punt and then falls on it. Tennessee's ball at the Bama 16. 2 plays later, Manning is going to take control. To Copeland, great catch. Manning's second of 3 scores in the game. Tennessee wins at 38-21. Bama got the first 6 points.
An impressive list to lead. Penn State, the number.
Charlotte's.
Against number 24, Wisconsin. That's Edwin Watson, the handoff. See ya. 75 yards for the TD. He rushed 9 times, 82 yards. They'd go up 21-0, the Boilers did after 1. There's Ron Dane, the Heisman candidate, takes the pass, rumbles up the left side. He caught 2 balls for 37 yards, rushed 26 times for 141 and a touchdown. Fourth quarter, Purdue up 15. Quarterback Billy Dicken throws to right and hits Vinny Sutherland. How about that juke right there? Bobby Myers is gone and scores the 30-yard. Nice. That's the chicken dance at the end. Nice dance there for Sutherland.
Was action-packed with a plethora of upsets and near misses. Ole Miss didn't miss its opportunity to knock off LSU just a week after the Tigers topped then-ranked #1 Florida. Mississippi quarterback Stuart Patridge threw for scores of 8 and 60 yards. This one to Grant Hurd. Rebels win 36-21. 1 week after losing its #1 ranking and starting quarterback, #6 Florida bounced back with a 24-10 triumph over #7 Auburn. Wide receiver Jaquez Green was a triple threat. He was involved in throwing, receiving, and rushing for a touchdown. Elsewhere, #1 Penn State narrowly escaped defeat. They came back to beat the Minnesota Gophers 16-15. The Nittany Lions scratched their way back into the ballgame by converting on 2 second-half Gopher turnovers. Second-ranked Nebraska had no problems with Texas Tech. The Cornhuskers peeled off a 29-0 win. Amon Green rushed for 172 yards on 24 carries. He scored once. Georgia Tech got blanked by ACC full Florida State 38-0. The Yellow Jackets managed to stay in the game by only trailing 7 in the third, but the Seminoles exploded for 31 more to blow the game wide open. The 5th-ranked Wolverines defeated Iowa 28-24. Quarterback Brian Greasy tossed 3 touchdowns and ran for another. Michigan remains unbeaten at 6-0. The Ohio State Buckeyes protected their #11 ranking by spanking Indiana 31-0. Michael Wiley rushed for a touchdown and threw for a score. Northwestern upset Michigan State 19-17. The Wildcats special teams came up large and decided the ball game with a blocked field goal attempt. #18 Air Force got grounded by Fresno State out west in the wiggity whack. Place kicker Jeff Hanna booted a career-best 51-yard field goal in the 4th to give the Bulldogs a 2017 upset win. Other results, #9 Tennessee beat Alabama. Both State of Washington clubs win. Kansas State plowed past Texas A&M. Purdue boiled over #24 Wisconsin. #25.
Who takes it 20 yards for the score. K-State missed the 2-point conversion. Didn't matter, though. Final 36-17. What a job by Michael Bishop, who left the game.